Serge here, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about your phone extension status in 3CX. This is a feature that a lot of clients don't use as often as they could. They might use the Do Not Disturb button on their actual phone, but this is something that you can use quite a bit more, and you're able to edit the behavior of the different statuses. And I'll show you a few ways to set the statuses. So again, the easiest way to configure this is to hop into the web client. Again, that's the URL of your 3CX system /web client. And again, this can be found from your 3CX welcome email, which will also list your username and password for your extension. And if you don't have that information handy, simply talk to your 3CX administrator to get them to resend that welcome email. So we can see on my computer, I'm already logged into the web client. And we're going to pop down to Settings and Call Forwarding. So here we have more than just Available and Do Not Disturb. We have Available, Away, Do Not Disturb, Lunch, Business Trip, and then some special exceptions that I'll show you at the end. Now for each status, you're able to define what happens if you don't answer a call, if you're busy, or your phone is not registered. So if you're already on the phone, so those are the two different behaviors. And by default, you can see here, I'm set to, if I don't answer the call, within 20 seconds, forward to voicemail. And if I'm already on the phone, forward to voicemail. And we can see this is a little bit different in Do Not Disturb. It forwards calls directly to voicemail in both scenarios. So if you're in a meeting, you don't want to receive any phone calls, you're able to click that Do Not Disturb button on your phone, or you're able to change your status in your web client or your desktop client, and that'll forward calls directly to your phone. And again, we can see, we can choose Away, and in each of these, we can decide what we want to do with the different call flows. So you're able to set up some different scenarios depending on if you're away on a business trip, and rather than forwarding directly to your voicemail, you want this to forward through to reception so your voicemail is not full when you get back to the office. You don't have to edit your Do Not Disturb. You can edit your business trip. Or if you want, say, an assistant to get your calls while you're on lunch, you're able to set those preferences, and then when you're going on lunch, just change the status of your phone to lunch, and it will follow those behaviors. So it saves a little bit of configuration once you set it up once. By default, your phone will always have a Do Not Disturb button. You can see that right here. And if you simply press that button, you'll see a little icon at the top, say Do Not Disturb. And if you press it again, it'll take it off Do Not Disturb. So the Do Not Disturb feature is the easiest one to configure because there's already a button on your phone. To change to the other statuses, we can create a shortcut key if you're going to use them a fair amount, but most times you'll do it in one of two ways. You'll do it through the web client, and you can see you can do that in the web client right here up in the top corner. I can choose Lunch, and that changes my status to Lunch, or Business Trip, or back to Available. So that's very easily done in the web client, and that'll affect all of the phones that you have with 3CX. As well, if you have the Windows desktop client, you're able to do that from the desktop client right here in the upper hand corner and change your status there. The last thing with extension statuses I wanted to talk about was exceptions. Exceptions aren't used often, but they're a neat feature if you need to use them. Exceptions allow you, if I go into configuration here, allow me to specify certain rules for the call display number. So say you have that call from a salesperson, from somebody trying to get your business, and they just will not give up ever. They keep calling you even though you've asked them to take you off their list. You can take their caller ID, for example, and type in their caller ID here, 1-905-555-1212, and you can specify, again, you could specify different office hours or different hours, but we'll spend all hours, send to busy. We save that rule, and no matter what your phone status is, this exception will override if that caller ID matches, it will play that rule. This could also be handy for internal calls, or if there's a VIP client that you set do not disturb, send directly to voicemail. But if it's a VIP client or customer that's calling you, you set their call display number and maybe have that forward to somebody else in your office. So no matter what status you set your phone as, that will take exception and handle that a little bit better. So it's not used often, but it's very important to know that that feature does exist, so that when you come up with a scenario, you think, oh, there's exceptions. Maybe I can do that with that. And then you can contact us at Skycomp or whoever handles your 3CX administration to help you with the specifics of setting up that rule. If you're finding these tutorial videos helpful, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel here. And if you want more information and tips and tricks with 3CX, you can view our 3CX playlist here. We're constantly adding videos to both. We hope you find them helpful.